How's it going, everybody, with another video? Today I tried New York City scam restaurants. Now, if you guys don't know, New York is notorious for being a very scam heavy state, or city, I should say. Especially with photos, scamming people for food, scamming people for anything. I actually took a trip to New York this past winter, and I actually did almost get scammed. I did get really mad at this one guy because he was dressed as the Grinch. And he asked me to take a photo with him by touching me on my stomach. And I said, don't touch me. I don't like people doing that. I will happily take pictures with people, if it's like a fun moment. But don't touch me. I don't like that, especially with people I don't know and that are masks. So, yeah, but we're going to get started. What do you guys think is the biggest scam in New York City, if you had to guess? But we're going to get straight into it. Like and subscribe, and let's get into it.
New York is absolutely notorious for scams, like hot dog vendors who charge you based on appearance.
$54? I mean, I think with the first day, I definitely looked like I wasn't supposed to be in New York City. I looked like a very not New York City person. So I definitely probably would have been upcharged. I think the second day though, I think my fit was pretty New York City. I feel like I was getting around pretty well, so I don't think I would have been overcharged. I probably would have been charged the basic amount, but $54 is actually abysmal.
So today I'm going to be testing some of the worst restaurant scams in NYC to see if they're true or false, starting with this potential street food scam. We got this off Reddit. There was a hot dog vendor by the World Trade Center who was notorious for scamming people. If you looked like you were from NYC, he would charge normally. If you came with an accent or looked like a tourist, the prices skyrocketed. Then I just saw this clip online of a guy getting charged $54 for a hot dog.
Here's the mission. We'll be testing 3 different hot dog carts to see if locals and tourists get priced
I think that's a fair amount of carts.
differently.
It also depends on where they're located. Like if you go, because the carts are everywhere around New York City. When I visited, if you go like in the same let's say 2 blocks and there's 3 of them, I wouldn't say that's good. But you gotta go one downtown, one uptown, and then one near Times Square. I think that's like a good way of testing.
First, then we send in James, who'll be playing the role of lost international tourist who just landed 6 minutes ago. All right, here goes nothing.
Get a hot dog with mustard. How much? $5. Thanks. $5?
I don't think $5 is a terrible amount. I think it should be a little cheaper. I think it's like the price of like a hot dog in at a game or something. I think it's pretty close because I think they're like $6 to $8 at NFL and hockey games. So I don't think it's the best price. I would have probably had cheaper, but it's not terrible.
Fair price? Regular hot dog.
That's a decent sized hot dog, so maybe $5.
It's actually not bad. It's the first time I could say that in a while, ordering a random hot dog. Now let's see how James does.
And yes, he is a
This guy's gonna be overcharged, 100%.
terrible actor.
Hot dog? How much?
Oh. All right, I stand corrected.
What happened next was so unexpected, I genuinely didn't plan for it.
Wait, so John gave me a 10 and a 5. I think I handed him a 5 and then he gave me the 5 back. Did I get a free hot dog? Did I scam him?
And yes, James returned the $5 to the original vendor. This is weird.
Okay, so I don't think this should count as one because this guy just didn't know what he was doing. He was probably like a first day working at this hot dog food stand because he literally just gave him the money back.
Let's try it again at another cart. No prices again, same setup.
You have a hot dog with mustard? How much? Thanks a lot. $5 for another hot dog.
This one's a little smaller. I wouldn't pay $5. I'd probably pay like $3. I think $3 for a hot dog is probably the perfect price for a hot dog.
What is going on? These guys are charging normal prices and actually have decent hot dogs too.
Now it's James's turn.
Hot dog?
$5 again. At this point, Reddit is not looking great.
All right, another hot dog. Guess how much he charged me.
I honestly am a little surprised he didn't get upcharged being, international. He's not technically international, but
I'm gonna guess $5.
Yeah, he charged me $5. No scam.
No more scams? Wow.
No more scams. Do I look too loco?
Honestly, I think the city may be cracking down on this because I saw a lot more carts that had prices listed. I think scam vendors are out there, but they're few and far between, and that makes me happy.
One last try before we officially call this myth busted.
How much? $3. Okay.
Okay, three. Yeah, like I said, $3 per price. I will say I will be shocked if this guy does not up the charge. If all three of these have not upcharged the other person.
$3. These prices are straight out of 2010.
$3. This is the cheapest hot dog I have found yet. This is crazy.
I sent in James one final time, expecting this segment to end peacefully when this happened.
Hot dog? How much? No.
Oh.
Well, guys, we've been looking for scammers. He charged Sean $3. He charged me.
I mean, that's not insane. Like that, I feel like it's not that bad of a scam, but I think he might have arranged it a little lower for certain people so that he can charge it for a more normal, common price for a scam. If that makes sense.
$4.
Big scam. A little tourist tax for you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's still cheaper than everybody else. I don't know how to feel.
that's still cheaper than everyone else.
Yeah, it's still cheaper than everyone else.
We didn't get crazy rip-offs here. I was expecting him to get charged 10
Oh, weird like a Burger King in the back. It's got like an awning.
and me to get charged 5. The fact that the one guy charged him 4 and me 3, I guess technically we can argue it's been confirmed, but he's still cheaper than everybody else, so you decide.
That's a $1 tourist tax, James. So we're calling this one confirmed. But
I wouldn't call it a scam. I think a scam is like insanely higher than the original price of everyone else. I mean, yeah, it's like a mini scam, I feel like. If it's like $5 extra, that's when it starts getting a scam.
weak. Now time to wash down those hot dogs.
Are New York bars ripping you off? One of the scams many restaurants bars run is using undersized pint glasses for beer. They look like normal pints, but have a thicker bottom, so you pay for a 16-ounce beer and instead get a 14-ounce beer. Why is no one talking about this? We're talking about this. We're gonna go to a bar, and we're gonna see how big a pint is.
The mission is simple. I'll order a pint, measure it, and see if a pint is actually 16 ounces. And I decided on Francis Tavern. It's so old George Washington used to drink here. And since the man
What?
literally couldn't tell a lie, I'm assuming he wasn't getting short poured either.
All right, just wanted to get a nitro red, and that's it for now.
Yes, I bought a pint-sized beaker on Amazon, and yes, I am deeply embarrassed about this whole situation.
I'm so clumsy, I'm afraid I'm gonna spill some of this beer and we won't get an accurate measure.
I feel like I'm terrible at pouring anything out of a glass. If anyone is still really bad at it, the thing I've always learned is that you got to be a little aggressive on the pour. Instead of just like slowly tipping it, you got to full on like dunk it into the cup, or else it goes on the side and it messes all up. It's the same thing with a mug.
Measurement.
I started pouring the beer into the pitcher, and of course, I
Yep.
spill some.
See, it goes on the side. You just got to full on aggressively go.
Science was never my thing.
It's good. Considering I spilled a little bit, it's good. I think it's close with the foam. I don't think there's any issue here whatsoever.
Not only is this a correct pint, this Irish beer is fantastic. In fact, I'm gonna chug it. Before any of the waiters see what I'm up to, I may regret this decision.
James, hide this, please. I don't wanna, I wanna hide the evidence immediately.
This one checks out. Reddit, you failed us. The pint scam is debunked.
After testing many of these so-called scam restaurants,
This is a really nice street. Oh my god. This
one
in
thing
New
is
York?
clear. In New York, your money disappears fast. And
Yeah, I don't think I did. I might have done a video on it. I had $500 in New York, and within 2 hours, I had 150. I went to the Nintendo store and the Lego store, unfortunately, and it was yeah, it was fun, but it was bad for my bank account.
while financial resolutions sound great, let's be real, budgets don't magically reset on January 1st. Between post-holiday credit card bills and getting back into real life, cash is tight, and that's why I use Upside. I've been using the free Upside app for a while now, especially for gas, groceries, eating out, basically the things I'm already paying for anyway. Upside lets you earn cash back in everyday purchase.
We are going to skip this sponsorship. Hate to say it, but I don't want to do that. Okay. Oh, okay. So they're doing Uber scams.
I find a participating gas station, I claim the offer in the app.
He's still talking about it. Dang.
It's part of my routine now. I use you could earn. Download the free Upside app. Now let's get back to eating.
Our next potential scam at a daily stop for New Yorkers.
What happens when you pay with a credit card at a New York deli? Will it cost you more than it appears? I went to a bodega this weekend.
I remember they talked about scams with like Ubers. I thought this is what the video was going to talk about with the next, but it was still talking about the ad. This is actually just my own little scam that I actually came across. Basically, you know, Ubers, they were crazy in the wintertime in New York City, especially around Christmas and New Year's. And when you pay for an Uber, obviously it's one payment and then it's the tip after the ride. Sometimes, sometimes it's before or after. But we paid for one because obviously it's very busy and it was very cold outside, and as you guys know, my foot was messed up, so it was turning pretty bad after walking 20,000 steps that day. Basically, we got on the ride. It took a long time because the traffic was really bad. And then at the end of the ride, the guy asked for an extra $10 for an extra service fee because it took too long. Let's just say our family crashed out and he did not get his $10. He did get a tip. That was nuts. I mean, it actually was a pretty good tip, but it wasn't, that it wasn't affected by the fact that we were almost scammed. So
Sandwich interaction mostly went fine. When I went to pay, I was told my sandwich should be $10. When I looked at the transaction, it was for $80. The mission here, I'm gonna order something to eat from a random...
Okay, so basically, they're told that it's a certain charge, and then when they use the card, it basically, on their phone, it's not what they said the charge was for. Like, let's say, oh, it's going to be $15. You pay with your card, and then on your phone you see it's $20. It's an extra $5 charge. That's
bodega, and let's see if my credit card charge is inflated or not. How are you? Can I get a chicken fajita panini? Food comes out fast. Moment of truth. 11:26. No receipt. Thanks a lot. It said 11:26 when I paid at the counter. I'm gonna check my email and see what I was charged. Honestly, I would be shocked if it was not.
I think it might be like $1 extra, like 12, but I'll be shocked if it's anything.
$11.26. Are all New York bodegas secretly villains? Nope. $11.26. Definitely not a scam. And honestly, that panini looked pretty good. I'm gonna try it. What the hell? Considering I only ate a few bites of hot dog today, I was actually hungry. Five-Eye Girl and Juice Bar, not scamming anyone.
That looked gas.
Solid, soft, juicy panini. The only scam is not getting into this place and getting this mighty fine panini. And as I suspected, this was a rare incident. Scam debunked. The next scam involves your favorite dessert. Ice cream is the most innocent food on the planet, but can you get ripped off for it? By Dumbo, there was a nearby ice cream truck. I noticed that none of the items had prices. The truck said cashless, meaning only card, and the young Italian guy working in the truck was handing people a small white device to tap the card.
I think so far some of these, scams, it needs to be a thing with if you guys have watched Ryan Trahan, it's kind of a thing like that. He sees a hotel that has multiple 1-star reviews. It's a more common thing. I don't think it's good to have one single review and call it a scam. It could just be a bad experience for that person and they write about it. I think you should look more into multiple scams for this one location, or specifically this one ice cream place for a truck. I know it's a little difficult because these are very specific places, but I think it'd be better for a scam to know if they're actually scams or not.
On. When I tapped my card decline, I asked how much the ice cream was. He said $15 each. The mission here, simple. Find the truck, buy one ice cream, and see if my credit card gets assaulted. This turned into a full scavenger hunt. I searched Dumbo.
Yeah, like I said, this is very specific. So
tourist blocks, and somehow only found halal trucks selling street meat. Just when I was about to give up, I find a Google listing that matches the exact truck. We're standing where this ice cream spot is supposed to be, NYC soft ice cream, and it's listed as maybe closed. I think this may have been the spot. One review 4 months ago, this place charged me $32.
Okay, so there's multiple. Okay.
For 2 soft serve ice creams. 3 months ago, $16 a cone. 2 months ago, $32 for 2 ice creams and a cup. We just missed them. Maybe they got shut down. Sadly, this case remains inconclusive. This next potential scam is something visitors need to watch out for. The one thing that shocks tourists more than anything in New York is tipping, especially when it's added without your consent. Check this out. So I went with my family to Little Italy to a tourist restaurant. We're not from the US and are not very familiar with the tipping system. However, we were very surprised to see that a 20% gratuity was added to the bill without any mention of this.
That's
overall,
crazy. Without any mention with the gratuity? That's wild.
The bill was 30.
I think if it's like a 5% gratuity with it not having any mention, it's like kind of bad, but 20% is crazy.
5% more than the price on the menu, including gratuity, credit card fee, and taxes. We're at an unnamed restaurant in
I feel like if your taxes, the taxes on it and the fees are more expensive than the overall price for the food, and you didn't order like just one item, That's a scam.
Little Italy. The mission, see if auto gratuity appears and if it's clearly listed.
All right, I just looked at the menu, and this is really interesting. Automatic gratuity applied at restaurant
Okay, so they did mention it on here.
discretion.
This could have been after the
I've never seen this wording in my life. If I wasn't from the U.S., I think I would even skip it. I wouldn't even notice. Restaurant's discretion. We'll see what their discretion is with us. I am very, very excited to find out
Thought I heard an alarm.
what's gonna happen.
Food arrives, the bread, good. The calamari, edible. The lasagna exists. For the first time in channel history, I care more about the check than the food.
Moment of truth. This is interesting. We're gonna break this one down. There's a sales tax, which is fine. Then there is a 20% added gratuity.
Wow, $8.
Then there's an operating fee of $1.
What?
There's 62, which I haven't seen in a while. And then there's a credit card total and a cash total, which I have seen before. So I think where people get upset with this is when you put your credit card, which is what I'm about to do, and then you get back an additional tip line and you don't pay attention to the auto gratuity.
I handed back my credit card and this happened.
This is actually crazier than I expected. I wanted to leave the restaurant to talk about this. I didn't want them to overhear it. Look, I understand the auto gratuity when you are a restaurant that has a lot of tourists. I think they should have been clear about it. I thought it was sketchy to
does
say
that
it's
also, like, does the gratuity include the tipping? Because then you wouldn't have the tip.
their discretion. I think it should be very clear. There's going to be an auto gratuity, which you can accept or
I
not.
usually like 15%.
Not cool with is when you have the auto gratuity and then when the card comes back, instead of saying additional tip, which fine, you have more suggested gratuity, 20%, 22%, 25%. If you weren't paying attention and you marked another 20%, you would have spent $66.90, almost an extra $25 of tax and tip and fees, about 60% over the bill. I don't know if it's a scam, but it's definitely sketchy. That's
Really bad.
really confusing to tourists, and I'm not a fan of it whatsoever.
If I get confused over that and I'm not a tourist, that's bad.
I can only imagine how many tourists double tip without realizing. This one is confirmed. Not illegal, but definitely sketchy. Our final scam is a bizarre one.
What happens if you get food added to your order that you didn't request and you still have to pay for? We blurred out the name of the restaurant. The waiter recommended the lobster. We told him we didn't want it and he added it without asking us to surprise us. We told him we didn't want it and he refused to take it off our bill because it was already prepared for us.
Here's the mission. We're going to dive
That reminds me, one of the years that I went to a restaurant, I was told, by my parents, they were like, "Oh yeah, we won't say anything about your birthday," and they did, obviously, and I was hyped, I was like, oh, whatever, but it was cool because it was my birthday, obviously. And then they brought us, the little dessert sometimes that the restaurants do for free desserts for your birthday. And then we got the bill. $15 for the dessert. Did we ask for the dessert? No. We actually specified saying we do not need anything else. Told the guy, got mad at us, and then was like, whatever, and then took it off. I was like, the
restaurant in question and see if we get charged
a
for
birthday scam? Are we dead ass?
anything we didn't want.
This is probably the fanciest Chinese restaurant I've ever been to
This
in
is a Chinese restaurant?
New York. I took off my hat, you see?
Time to act as indecisive as humanly possible.
What do you recommend?
The duck dumplings, the oxtail bun, the teacup scallop and shrimp wonton.
They're gonna recommend the most expensive item.
One is super flavorful and nice this time of year. However, that's the only thing that's not very shareable.
I see. I kind of want the spicy cucumbers. I'm not sure. So many decisions.
This waiter deserves a medal for her patience.
Let's do the braised black pepper oxtail bun. Let's do the crispy pork and chive dumpling. The duck dumplings. Any other ideas you think for sharing that I missed?
The strange flavor burrata is very popular here.
What's a
If
strange?
anyone's wondering why they're doing shareable, a lot of times with these restaurants, they do it a little differently. So you don't really get something for yourself. You get something for the table. If you have like a group of 4 people, let's say as a group we want this, this, and this, and then they bring out a large entrees for the restaurant. It was a lot of restaurants in New York City that did that.
Strange about it.
That's because
Kind of like it though because it was kind of fire. It was like a lot more food.
normally you find that at Italian restaurants.
Okay, sold. I'll do that too.
Spicy cucumbers, dumplings, pork, and duck.
Yes, yes. So he confirmed the order. Really don't think there's gonna be extra stuff coming that I didn't ask for. This just doesn't
It's gonna be crazy if there was actually extra stuff after she already said what was on the order.
strike me as the kind of place that would pull that, but I've been surprised already today, so who knows?
Everything came out. Wait a minute, did I order these? Uh-oh.
This is crazy. We actually went through the footage. I originally was wavering on the spicy cucumber, and then the waiter at the end brought it back up. I kind of want the spicy cucumbers. I'm not sure.
Spicy cucumbers.
I don't think there was any ill will there. I think she was just double
Yeah, probably she wasn't actually trying to scam you. She was just like, he'll probably want it.
checking if I wanted it. I didn't originally pick it, but
I would have double checked, to be honest.
I said yes, so it doesn't count. Definitely the spiciest cucumber I've ever had. Then we got these strange flavor burrata. Let's see if it flavors that strange. I think strange might be the wrong word. Unique might be better. All right, oxtail bao. This hits. Woo. Perfect soft and savory texture. Oh, I honestly want to thank Reddit for sending me here. Thank you. Moment of truth. We're gonna see if the check lines up. Maybe something got thrown in, I don't know. Oh my God, they added something. Just kidding. It's legit.
Well,
That's not bad.
not cheap by any means, my Chinese fusion dinner was quite memorable. I might even bring the wifey back for this one.
I was as indecisive as
Yeah, that was honestly definitely a good one. I kind of wish the only thing I have, to say about it is when some of these scams, I did like for the ice cream truck one, they actually had different reviews or multiple reviews for the same one. But I feel like a lot of the first ones, they said, oh, there's, the scam that happened, that they went on one review and went from multiple locations just talking about that one single review that was bad. I think if they had multiple reviews talking about the exact same thing around the exact same area, I think it would have been a little bit better. But other than that, it was a pretty good video. If you guys do like it, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, have a good one.